Welcome back to IDIOTSYNCRATIC episode 3. 3, baby. Wait, German 3. I'm your host for the episode, Mr. Jago, Justyn Gomez.
Is this 3 or 30?
Gomes. 30?
To them, though.
That's,
I was trying to do 03.
you did 30.
In hindsight, that was probably pretty stupid.
In 27 episodes, we'll be there at 30.
I can't wait. Oh my God.
Yeah, the biggest landmark, episode 30. With me today, this handsome young fella right here to my left,
Notice me, senpai.
Mr. Cool Arrow himself,
Hey, Alex Soto.
Alex Soto. Anyone ever call you Alex? That's pretty cool.
Mm-mm.
It's a cool name.
They will now.
Don't take it from me. I said it first. Remember that.
Yeah, they call me Lex. They call me Fredo.
Did they call you Lexander? That's a pretty cool one too.
I was thinking, you know what I was thinking would be a cool name? If I was a vampire hunter, I'd start going by Lysander. Like L, the little comma thing. Sander. Lysander.
Like you're French.
Yeah, like I'm French.
Hey.
Not like I'm a black guy from New Orleans.
Very unique name.
Is that offensive?
Who cares?
I wasn't trying to be.
Who cares?
Lysander.
If you care, stop watching.
Also, I would just like to point out that I once met two brothers. One was named LaDavius. The other was named... Wait, was that one?
Delavius?
No, okay, no. It was La Cedric and Da Cedric.
Oh, yeah. You told me about them.
Oh, yeah, and their nicknames were Papa and Daddy. I was like, okay, so their names were too confusing.
Were they twins?
So you had to... No.
Oh, okay.
They're like 3 years apart.
Oh, my God.
So I was like, okay, so their names were too confusing. So you gave them equally confusing nicknames.
Yep.
I can only hope they had a third brother.
Name better. That's the motto for today's episode. Name better. If you can't tell already, I'm sick as a dog right now. You have to forgive me, my sniffles.
I got him sick, but
My
that doesn't
costumes.
me's he's going to rock a ninja mask.
Yeah, he jumped inside me and what did I say earlier? You biologically attacked me or something. He's the RNA to my DNA.
That's deep, bro.
Thanks, dude. So today, little baby synapses, try to figure out what we're talking about. We are talking about the journey from 8 to 4, which again, my guess for that was when you catch a spider inside your house, he's like crawling around everywhere. He's hiding behind your pillow. He happens to be in one of your socks. You just pull him out. And what you do is you start peeling his legs off.
Oh my God.
One by one.
Oh my God.
Until you get him down to only 4. It's even funnier if you do just one side, so you just leave him completely lopsided.
You can only walk in circles.
Yeah. It's like if you're rowing and one of your buddies falls off, it's just you left. Good luck.
Oh, that's so sick.
So Alex already confirmed with me that is exactly what he's talking about today. And mine is replacement.
And I apparently hit it right on the nose. And I guess that it's basically whenever you're not satisfying your woman's needs and she needs to find a replaced man, and she goes to the robot store in the future, and, it's a sexual thing.
Actually, he's not far off.
To fulfill her needs.
It's close to that, but not quite on the nose. Close enough, though. I think that's the closest that we've ever been to guessing each other's.
Cool. I've been known to be a good guesser.
I guess the best.
Yeah, guess how many guesses I guess right.
I'm gonna guess 30 out of 1,800.
Infinite.
Oh, hell!
Infinite BJs.
Oh, and you also might notice that we are drinking wine on today's episode. We're not doing coffee because it is not a Sunday morning like it usually is. No. Today is Monday night.
And like a couple of old cat ladies, we drink wine on Monday nights.
Yes, we do.
Even though we're buddies and we're doing it together, so...
Plus, I love cats and I love wine.
Is that gay? I don't know.
Could be.
Is it gay to drink wine with your friend?
I've been told that many times that people think that we're gay. And with some of my other friends, too. I think people just think I'm gay, and whoever's associated with me is gay
that's hilarious.
by association.
Somebody listen to the podcast and they're like, bro, your friend sounds kind of gay. And I was like, he's married. Like, he has a child on the way.
Say it to my face in the form of a voicemail. We actually don't have a voicemail this week.
We don't have voicemails?
We don't have 0 voicemails this week. Quicksand Graves, our man, I think he just fell off the face of the earth.
Oh, man, because I called him out. I was like, what's good, homie? You want to come up at my face talking about I smell like shit?
I wonder if he's probably got a dictionary out right now.
Catch me in the street. More like a thesaurus because he can't rhyme by his own self. I said it.
I'm gonna send this video to Quicksand Graves himself. You're probably already watching us because I know how big of a fan you are because you just decided to just drop me songs out of nowhere.
Yeah, man.
So
come flow battle me, dog.
Yeah, but I got a few other prospects for who might actually send us in some voicemails.
I've been telling people.
Yes. Well, a lot of people that I talk to that listen to the show say that they're going to pass the show off to other people too, and probably get them to send some voicemails in too. So we actually don't know these people.
Because I keep having people say, "Oh, hey, I think it'd be really awesome if you guys talked about this." And my response to that is, "Hey, you know that part when we're like, hey, if you have ideas for us to talk about, you should send us an email or a voice."
You remember that?
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I don't say that because I don't talk to people like that to their face. Because I'm fake.
Talk them to their faceums.
I make fun of them behind their back.
Yeah. So
step to my face, you're going to get touched.
Again, leave us a voicemail. Email us if you don't want us to make fun of your voice, which we will. It'll happen. There's no way around it.
We'll make fun of your type voice.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and hop into these interests today, my man. And I want you to go first today because I'm sick and I'm tired of talking.
Okay.
Yay.
So, my interest, the journey from 8 to 4. It is a tale of nostalgia. And if you're not into gaming, this is what's that thing? Whenever you tell people like, hey, if you're not into this thing, don't listen.
Non-interest?
I don't know. Anyways.
We just coined that term.
Yeah, if you're not a gamer, you might be bored. But
you might be bored.
You might not. It might still be interesting to think about. But I've been gaming since I was a wee lad. Even like weirder than a wee lad. I started gaming when I was like not even a toddler. I was like 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to play Mario, the old 8-bit Mario, with my aunt who lived across the street at the time. And that was before I could even like play by myself. Like I used to have somebody to play with, you know?
Yeah.
Way back in the 90s. Good old days. In the 8-bit days of Mario.
We'd blow on the cartridge when it wasn't working.
Yep. See? Look. Oh, your nostalgia is showing.
Yeah. And then if it's a Nintendo, you put it in and you click it down. And the moment it clicks, it's like,
yeah.
And you close the lid.
And some people know that weird white noise sound. Like that sound to me was first whenever my Nintendo wasn't working. Like that's what I equate it with.
Oh yeah.
I don't even equate it with VHSs that you fell asleep watching or something. That's what a lot of people do. Me? What's wrong with my...
That's when you push it.
Right? Yeah, and that was even some of the sound effects on freaking Nintendo games, the early Nintendo games, because they had such shitty sound effects. Like a gun,
8-bit audio.
A gun noise would be like...
Steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's really accurate, man. This guy drums or something. Yeah. No, so what got me thinking about this and was because me and Natalie, my wife.
My wife.
Yeah, we bought Mario Odyssey, which is the
nice.
Yeah.
The Switch?
For the Switch. Yeah, the newest Mario that came out.
This guy's got a Switch.
Yeah, you already know. And I was playing it and I was like, man, it's kind of crazy. It reminds me of Mario 64, which was like kind of the first 3D Mario. If you guys remember, it came out on Nintendo 64. And I was just thinking, man, like all through the years, I've gotten this kind of cool, this seat of watching gaming, like from its infant stages to how it is now.
Yeah.
And I've had the pleasure of being able to, like, literally see its infantile stage as it was cutting edge to how it is now. and all the steps in between. And it kind of reminds me of when we're talking about the internet. We're talking about how we're at a cool age where we're technically millennials. But like millennials, when people say millennials, they think of like those dumb teenagers who
fidget spinning, romper wearing.
Yeah, they text each other right next to each other and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they spend more time Snapchatting what they're doing than
What's
doing
pound?
what they're doing.
I only know what a hashtag is.
And with the internet, we were young enough when it happened to remember how it was before the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Not before the internet, but before it was like really big, it was commonplace. And then we're young enough to still be like really adept at the technology. We're not like, I can't find my contacts.
Where are my AOL discs?
Yeah, I'm running out of hours.
How am I gonna check my Zynga?
Yeah, I heard somebody say instant message the other day, and I was like, what?
Who are you?
What? You mean DM?
You live in Bangladesh or what?
Yeah. AIM?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
Rest
AIM.
in peace, AIM. Thanks for the memories.
Nah, but anyways, like there's just so many stories of when I was a wee little lad. I learned how to read playing video games. Do you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, so like way back in the day, my pop, that's what we call my dad since my brother had a baby. We call him Pop just because me and Natalie think it's funny. Like white people naming their, they don't name them, but
Peepop.
Yeah, they got Peepops and Poopos and that's not one.
And their Popo.
Yeah, but so my dad used to always shop at this one pawn shop. And these were in the days whenever like only weird guys who were like too into computers played video games who knew about them. And I actually knew a guy like that too. He lived across the street from me, and he was my friend's uncle. And he was one of those guys who were like 28 and lives with his sister still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Basement dwelling.
Yeah, and of course, me and my friend thought he was like the coolest dude, right?
Oh, of course.
And he showed us like...
He's even got a beard. It's right here on his neck.
Yeah, and that was the first time I played Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, hell. Yeah, at his place?
Yeah, at his place. He introduced it to me.
Good friend.
But yeah, I didn't actually find out what it was until a little later when my dad bought it. But, he bought Final Fantasy IX for me, and I went back in time and started playing the old ones. And then that's when I discovered, I've played 7 before, and it's possibly the best ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, even going with Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 15 came out like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the newest installment that we were all waiting for years for.
Yeah.
Don't say it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, the story wasn't as expansive as I hoped, but come on, man, the gameplay.
Oh, I will never knock the gameplay. The gameplay is, in my opinion, 21st century.
It was a beautiful game.
It's 21st century Final Fantasy, yes. But
the story...
Final Fantasy has never not been known for story. It's about the story. I don't care how bad the graphics are. The thing is,
in recent years, it's kind of gone away from it. But the point is that this was the game that was supposed to kind of bring it back to its roots.
Yeah, this was the game that was supposed to tie everything together, story and like mechanics and graphics, because it's a gorgeous game. Some of the best graphics I've ever seen in my life. But the story was just, it was so like fragmented, There were parts where I was just like, did I fall asleep? Or did I miss something? Did I accidentally skip a part of this game?
Word, man. You're preaching to the choir here because I'm a stickler for story.
Dude, I'm telling you.
And not only that, but to find out, a lot of the storyline that's missing will come out in DLC later.
Oh, cool.
Downloadable content.
Do I have to pay for it?
Yeah. And see, that's another part of like today's gaming that wasn't around before, downloadable content.
Yeah, if you want to buy a full game today, you have to pay $100. You don't pay $60.
DLC.
Gotta
buy the season pass.
Yeah. If you don't buy the season pass, then you don't get the full game. And it's shit. Right. That's shit culture.
And it's like I realized that the games are huge now. Everything has to be open world. That's the standard now. Turn-based is a thing of the past, which, to be honest, people hate me for saying this, but I liked turn-based.
Oh, I did too.
It was cool. It was like strategic, So
take your time to think about what you're gonna do.
So what if it wasn't like the most realistic? You could plan out like these intricate layers of whatever of fighting, and that was cool for the old games.
Oh yeah, I mean, So I have some friends who never got into Final Fantasy games because they thought, they were like, aren't those games boring? It's not. They're
Yeah,
not
that's what
action
I heard that
packed.
so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, I mean, boring is subjective, but personally, I like role playing games.
Hmm.
I like the idea that
I like reading
I'm
a
the main
book.
character. Yeah, and that
Yeah.
this is my story that I'm playing out. And you know what? Even if it's turn based, it's like, okay, that's pretty cool. I have 50 different moves that I can use. I'm not gonna be able to just pick them off on the fly.
And you choose how you develop your characters too. It's you're kind of making your own. I know I'm sounding like a super nerd right now, but you're like it's almost like you get invested with your characters. Like by the end of the story, like spoiler alert, not really because it's freaking 20 years ago. When Eris dies,
I was about to bring that up.
yeah, you feel so sad because
Yeah.
you spent so much time like investing in her.
Yeah, and they the way they did it too was like extra malicious in this too because you had so much time with her to build her character up. I gave her a lot of good stuff too. I didn't know she was gonna die. I gave her a lot of good stuff. By this point too, like you can once you actually make it to the golden saucer stage, you can get Cloud to start kind of like dating some of the
Oh,
characters.
yeah.
Yeah, and of course you always pick Eris. Eris is the love of his life. You know it.
I know I picked Tifa.
You did?
Hmm.
Yeah, Eris is like she's like the love of his life, and like I put so much time into that, and then Sephiroth comes down and impales her with his sword.
With his giant Masamune.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, I was like, I thought I had game over or something. I was like, I need.
What did I do
I think
wrong?
I literally went back to my last save
To make sure-
to try
yeah.
to like do something different.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
yeah. The Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
also fun fact: if you say only mean things to all the girls in Final Fantasy VII, then that date that you go on will be with Barrett,
Nice.
who is a man.
He's a big old black guy
He's a big black man
with a gun arm.
with a gun on his arm.
With a gun arm. Get ready to get blasted in the ass.
Mm. Yeah, dude, and like, you know how people a lot of times when they don't I feel like they don't get the beauty of Japanese RPG games because they're not about story. Because when I was in middle school, I'd be like, oh, you like playing video games? Yeah, me too. Yeah, I guess we're gonna be friends now, right? Do we just become best friends? And then it'd be like, what kind of games do you like? And I'm like, oh, Final Fantasy 9. And they'd be like, oh no, I like Madden. And I'd be like, and then I'd be like, oh, I like Final Fantasy 7. And I'd be like, NBA 2K, whatever. I'm like,
NHL 03.
yeah. And then it'd be like, oh, so you just like sports games?
And they're like,
And then-
well, yeah, what other games are there?
Yeah, they're like, no, I don't just like sports games. Like, I also like the NCW Nitro.
Oh my God.
Or like, whatever the fuck that wrestling
Yeah.
game was. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The wrestling games? I'd be like, is that sports?
Is that a sports?
Is that a sports? And they'd be like, no, it's wrestling. It's real. I'm like,
But then they also like when
definitely not.
when Conker's Bad Fur Day came out, everybody was like, greatest game ever. They cuss.
Oh,
Everybody was
dude.
all over that too. But I was still all over like an awesome Final Fantasy game or Metal Gear Solid or something else that involved a like compelling story instead of just a squirrel talking
And
shit.
this is gonna sound really rude, and I'm sorry if I'm stepping on any toes here. I like playing Madden too. Don't get me wrong. I'm cool with Madden, but I feel like if you can't get into something that is very story heavy, then you might be a little dumb.
Not an idiot.
Oops.
Kind of an idiot.
a little.
So there's that. I mean, like, not pointing fingers, but here's the thing. Some people don't read books either. It's okay. Some people don't think about stuff. It's totally fine. All I'm saying, she might be a little dumb.
Thank God I hit the right one.
And there you have it.
And there you have it.
No, yeah. So, but Mario was it's a lot of fun. This new Mario. If you're into playing games, if you like Mario style games, check it out. The
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Obviously, I mean, the story is not going to be great with Mario. Spoiler alert: Bowser kidnaps
Princess Peach.
Princess Peach. You got to get her back. But this one, it adds like a new dynamic. You have like this hat guy. He's like your buddy.
Cappy, right?
Cappy, yeah. You can like throw it and take over certain enemies, and then you can use those enemies' attacks and stuff like that. So
you can also like jump off of Cappy too, right? Like you can use him to get to different levels and stuff.
Yeah, you spin him, and then it gives you a little higher jump.
Isn't it weird though? Kind of
exploration,
like being this weird little marshmallowy Italian plunger running around a world with like kind of normal looking people.
Yeah. So
like
what Justin's talking about is that there's so on this one there's different worlds that you can go to, and one of the worlds basically looks like downtown New York, and the people walking around look like, well, I don't want to say regular humans. I mean, they're still cartoony, but
compared to Mario,
what would you call them? Very
marshmallowy,
very
pudgy,
cartoony.
Yeah, bombastic.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Like his big nose.
But you can outfit him in a pinstripe suit and a hat, so he looks
hell yeah.
Looks like he belongs in Chicago.
Get my Mario a zoot suit with a feather in his hat.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Looks like Al Capone.
Some spats on his shoes. Hell yeah.
The night Chicago died.
So does it live up to the hype? Because from everybody I've talked to, everything that I've seen online, it is amazing.
I would say yes.
Nice.
And
there was a lot of hype surrounding this game.
Once again, take that with a gram of salt because my bar
a lot of salt.
is very low. Because it's very easy for me to enjoy something. I just want to have fun. I'm like a girl. Girls just want to have fun. I just want to have fun. You know what I'm saying?
He cries at his parties too, but only if he wants to.
Is that? I think that's a different song.
They're all the same to me.
Yeah.
80s pop songs.
And I'm keeping my baby. So Papa don't preach.
Oh, that was
Madonna. Come on. Stay with me, Justin.
David Bowie?
Yeah. Prince?
I'm just going to start naming artists from the 80s.
Do they know it? Christmas time.
So you got to watch. Well, actually, we got to watch.
Both of us did, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played it yet because I don't have a Switch. I'll get one soon enough. And I'm not a huge Mario or Nintendo fan. But, of course, much love to the original game of games that got all of us into games.
That was the first, all started, yeah.
First game I've ever played in my life was Super Mario, the original on Nintendo. I still remember holding the gigantic case, because they came in like those huge cases.
Yeah. Duck Hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, Duck Hunt, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely remember playing those. I remember watching the evolution too. I never had a 64, but friends used to have Mario Party. And yeah, you'd watch it every year. There's a new Mario game. You see it get, they add new elements to it every time. It looks more different. Paper Mario, when that first came out too, I was like, that's pretty cool. Like that's kind of like a return to form, but also different at the same time.
And then, so there's so much. We're kind of in an age where there's so much nostalgia too, where they're kind of doing reboots of styles of gaming. So like you'll notice on Switch there's a lot of side scrolling, like side scrolling being like, how Mario used to go this way. It was like not 3D at all. Your
character is walking to the side and the screen is scrolling. That's why they call it that.
And then even like top down, like another super duper nostalgia game, or I guess gaming franchise that I used to play was all the original Legend of Zeldas. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like top down looking and the characters walking like this.
And when you're on the world maps too, like your little Link is bigger than all the trees around him too, just because like you're walking around the world map,
Yeah. Each tree just is a square.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Breath of the Wild came out, just recently, which same thing, freaking it's a beautiful game. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people had some stuff to say about it, but
I haven't heard anything bad about that one either. I'd be surprised if I did, because it's like a kid friendlier version of Skyrim.
Yeah, that's a good way to because with the open world thing, like I said, everything's going open world.
Yeah, I don't need to run around decapitating pigs. You know what I mean?
Decapitating pigs.
Or whatever they are.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
spend 3 years building up your smithing.
Yeah.
So that way you can have Daedric armor.
Yeah. God, the Daedric armor is so badass. But yeah, I'm pretty excited with what Nintendo's doing. Again, I've never really been like a Nintendo guy. Like I have a 3DS. You know, I had the original Game Boys. I had like all. I think the like their mainstay systems. Like I've had all those. But I've never been like a diehard Nintendo guy. But in the back of my mind, they're always there as a company that you can kind of count on, you know, to kind of pump out that
push the limits.
Yeah, push the limits and also pump out the quality stuff, you know. When it comes to like Sony and Xbox, you know, there are a few titles like specific to their consoles, but there's never anything like Nintendo properties.
Yeah.
There will never be Mario on another platform. There will never be Zelda on another
It's the
platform.
most iconic, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like.
Nintendo went the way that Atari should have if it weren't for E.T. They're still somewhere in a landfill in Mexico.
Ataris?
No, the E.T. game.
What? I don't
Yeah.
even know what you're talking about.
So after the movie came out, they made a game for the Atari called E.T. And it actually crashed the video game industry. It almost completely decimated the video game industry because the game was so bad.
Wow.
Yeah, so they took all the games that nobody bought, which was like 98% of their inventory, and dumped them in a landfill in Mexico.
Let's go get him. Where's it at?
Guadalajara,
Let's go, dude.
maybe.
Do you have a passport?
No. It's almost as if
No.
if you brought them here, people would pay you to not give it to them. We could make a fortune.
Actually, people are so hipster, I feel like they would buy it just because nobody else has it.
Hey, check it out. I got beard wax. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at my E.T. Classic.
They'd be like, hey, I'll give you $500 for that ET game.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'd be like this.
No, I'd be like, yeah, here
I'd
you
be
go.
like, a G? Or you need to get the out of my face.
Give me. I am not above doing a lot of things for $500.
Like what?
Probe me.
For $500?
That's a request. And
I'll give you $500 to probe you.
there you go. Is that all you got for your interest today, my man?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I just want to. Yeah. So sorry, I started talking about how, they're coming back to side scrolling. They're making like new games that are HD up to our standards now, but they're side scrolling style.
Same style as the original style.
Also top down. You know, so it's like it's a retro feel to it, but it's revamped with like new stuff, like how we have. You know, it's more akin to our games now.
Yeah.
I just want. I know I'm such a nerd, but I just want a turn-based game. I want a turn-based Japanese RPG game. And I know they're remaking Final Fantasy VII, but I've seen gameplay footage.
Oh, no, it's going to be action. It's going to be like 15.
Real time, yeah.
I wonder if... no, never mind. I was thinking of Monster Hunter, but that's action. I don't know. I think in this day and age where, like you said, nostalgia is a major thing, and it's like HD nostalgia too. I don't think it'll be long before we actually.
Oh, that's where the 4 came
turn-based
from,
one.
by the way.
From
So,
8
to 4
from 8-bit
to 4K. There you go. Laser robot dicks.
robot faps. Is that all you got?
Yeah, and that concludes my interest of the day.
Oh, good. I'll get me a Switch soon enough, and then I'll be able to experience that with you.
I'll switch you.
No.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and hop into my interest of the day, which was replacement.
Wait a
Okay.
minute. Wait, can I make another guess?
Go ahead, and make another guess.
Is it like a cartridge you insert in your member? So it's kind of like male birth control. So that way, instead of shooting semen, you shoot replacement. So that way, no babies happen.
That is really far out there.
Wait, was I closer with my
Not
first
even
guess?
close. Not
Okay.
not even close. You are outside of the dome, outside of the flat Earth dome. That's how far away you are. And as we all know, the sun, the moon, and the universe are inside that dome.
All I gotta say is Take these replace loads.
Replace loads.
Yeah.
All right, so there is. Let me preface this by saying, them damn Japanese, you can get anything there. You can get anything that you want there.
I approve this message.
And there's a company.
Wait, I hit the wrong button. Times.
There's a company in Japan that specializes
Konami?
No, they're what are they doing now? Oh, they
Ramen?
No, Konami makes slot machines now.
That doesn't surprise me. It's like pachinko,
It's the damn physical version of microtransactions.
pachuco.
So there's a company in Japan that is called Family Romance. Okay, I'm just gonna start off with that.
That already sounds like an oxymoron.
Try and guess what this company does. Too late. Here we go. Have you ever had it's wedding time. You know, you and your significant other are getting married, but then you realize, oh no, we don't have any friends. We don't have any family. We don't have anybody to come to the wedding.
That's exactly what happened when I got married.
We have nobody here to witness this amazing moment. No friends. Nobody to call home to. Nobody to get us the gifts that we deserve for tying the knot.
It's so sad.
Well, guess what? Family Romance is here to help you out.
All right.
You can hire wedding guests to attend your wedding. For 20,000 yen, which is $200, office agents provide staff members to attend the ceremony. For an additional 5,000 yen, they can perform a song or a dance. Pitch in another 10,000 yen, and that person can make a speech that would make you proud.
How does that even work?
Think about this.
They just pretend like y'all have been friends for your whole lives?
Have you ever wanted to take a selfie, but you had no friends to be in the selfie with you? There's no one to call home to say, hey, I'm at the Tower of Pisa right now by myself. Where are you, my friend?
I can only say that that's happened to me 4 times in my whole life.
These are the people who don't use speed dial because they have no one to put on. Well, guess what?
When they had MySpace top 8,
They didn't have anyone. They just hid it.
They just had one.
That's when everybody was a coder
was
and they could just hide it.
It was Tom.
It was Tom. It was Tom. So for 8,000 yen, which is $70 here, I guess that's how the conversion works. The company will send you someone who will spend 2 hours posing with you in photos, which you can then post to Facebook and Instagram to show everyone what a great time you're having with your best bud. As the service is based in Japan, anyone wanting to use it from another country might have to cough up a little bit of extra dough for those flights.
What?
Mm-hmm. So,
But you know what? As someone who's been to Japan, I can honestly say that I think that's a fucking steal. I think it's worth it, my man.
it might be worth it.
Because, you know, there's nobody better in the entirety of the universe at posing for pictures / selfies than the Japanese culture.
Then the Japans.
They invented this thing, the double freaking victory sign. Or to us, it's a peace sign, but
Kawaii.
they call it the little victory V. Like,
Well, guess what? Now you can have your own little Japanese man with you at all times. Well, for 2 hours a day. Unless you want to pitch in more money
you know what?
to take photos with
me,
you.
me and Natalie got lucky, and we just used our personalities to find Japanese people to take pictures with.
Hey, good job.
But those are some of our favorite pictures, and they have great stories to go along with them. So all I gotta say is, especially if you're an introvert, and like you said, maybe you don't have friends, maybe you don't have family.
That speed dial is empty.
That's a fucking worth it, man. I'm telling you, that's a good price. I would pay that many yens. I mean, not me, but if I wasn't me, I would pay that.
If I were someone else.
Did I tell you about my friend Yoshida?
Nuh-uh.
And that
Is he Yakuza?
yeah, the one I think might have been Yakuza.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. The one who was ordering bottle service all night. And he
Yeah,
says,
he was ordering bottle service.
and he loves California.
Yeah, he's like, I fucking love California.
Because he said, he asked you if you're American.
Yeah, he's like,
And America to
Yeah.
him is California.
yeah,
It's the American dream.
Yeah, he's like, I was like, I'm American. And well, I was trying to talk. Okay, he was really cool. He was trying to speak English. I was trying to speak Japanese to him.
Yeah.
He was like, "You're American?" I was like, "So desu," and which means, "Fuck yeah, bro."
All right. Damn.
Not really, but yeah. And he's like, "I fucking love California." And I was like, "Oh, I'm from Texas." He's like, "Huh?" Like Texas.
Nani?
Yeah, Texas. Texas. Oh, Texas.
Oh.
Like, yeah. He's like, you have a horse?
Do you have a horse?
I was like, no, man.
So you're telling me you didn't walk in there with a cowboy hat on, chewing
No,
chewing a tumbleweed?
I wasn't.
No.
And he was like, I thought you were Mexico.
Oh, Mexico.
And I was like,
Yeah, that's
I
south
was like,
of us.
well, that's where my freaking ancestry is from, bro.
Yeah.
I feel triggered now. I'll try to tell him that, but they don't get that over there. Yeah, he's like, I got seppuku.
Seppuku? No.
Yeah, I was like, no, don't do it.
No seppuku.
I'm just kidding.
Don't seppuku me.
That's not this guy, man. This guy actually was like, I was a little intimidated by him by the end of the night. He was cool as shit, but so long story short, we were partying in Japan, and there's this weird guy in a freaking suit, and in the corner, like all scary style, like he's a freaking villain, and we're just having a good time. Like there's these Indian guys like dancing with each other. And when I get there, they want me to dance with them. And I'm like, no, that's weird. I don't dance with dudes, right? But
that's weird.
I was like, oh, yeah, sure. I'll be over there in a little bit. Just let me drink my drink, you know? And then he comes back later again. He's like, oh, where's your drink? I was like, oh, I just ordered one. Hold on. You know, but then I end up getting drunk as the night goes on. So finally, I'm like, but they're just having a good time. They keep doing this thing. Yeah! Right? And so, like, me and the guy that I'm with, who I just met at the hotel, he was, like, also American, right? So we were chilling together. We're the only Americans, so obviously we're going to post up. We're going to, hook up.
Oh, yeah, you're from Texas.
Yeah,
He's
so
from
friends.
Wyoming.
Exactly, right. And so Natalie was, like, dancing with his, like, cousin or something, right? It was a girl. Like, they were in the little girl circle and stuff. And so, like, we just start kind of, like, making fun of the Indian dudes, like, yeah! Like, we're doing it with them. Like, so every time they would be like, yeah. We all are doing it, right? And then the freaking Yoshida over in the corner, he starts busting it out, too. So we're like, yeah! And then you just see Yoshida like, yeah! And I was like, oh, shit, it's that fucking guy.
Nani?
Yeah. And then finally, you know how when alcohol gets going, man, people just get way too, not personal, but like friendly, right? So you know me, I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to buy you a drink. Ooh-wee. Nah, and he was
Did you take him home with you?
I wish, man. No, he wouldn't let me buy him a drink. And he like freaking snapped his finger. And there was this one guy that had been walking around all day and like everybody was bowing to him and like freaking kissing his ass and stuff like that. And so I was like, man, who is this guy? He must be somebody, right? And then he comes over to the Yoshida guy and he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, oh, so sorry. And and he brought us drinks. And then like I didn't pay for drinks the rest of the night, man. Because I was like friends with Yoshida.
Hold on, you got free drinks?
Like that, yeah.
I didn't know this part of the story. That instantly elevates it for me.
Yeah. I got free drinks the rest of the night because I was chilling with that dude.
Oh, nice.
And I come to find out later that the one guy that everybody was being super nice to was the owner of the bar. And for whatever reason, the owner of the bar was super freaked out / scared / respectful of my man Yoshida.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And so, needless to say, okay, this is a way long story, but the point is we got some badass selfies.
There you go.
And that's why it's worth that money.
And you know what? You didn't even have to pay for them.
Nope.
And if you want to pay, you can hire friends to hang out and talk to you for as long as you want, as long as you'll pay them.
I would pay all the yen to hang out with Yoshida again.
If you can't rope them in, if you can't seal the deal on your own, if you have nobody on speed dial, you can just call this company Family Romance. Sorry, the wine.
But why is it called Family Romance, though? I'm still
here it goes.
A little wrapped up on the name.
Here it goes. Replacement.
Oh, yeah.
So, have you ever thought to yourself, I would love to call a family member of mine right now, but then realize your speed dial was empty, devoid of family members. Well, now with Family Romance, You can hire family members
To call?
to hang out with, to borrow, to keep.
Okay, and I'm thinking that they're way cooler than normal family members.
They're like family members you can choose. It says, we have a huge variation of employees and the dedication to create an experience that surpasses reality. That's why our motto is more than real, creepy. We had a case recently where a dying man wanted to see his grandchild, but it would not have been born in time. His daughter was able to rent an infant for the day.
Oh my
You can rent babies. Need a baby? Call Family Romance. Get you a baby before you die.
Oh my God.
And this is from a man who has been in the program for years and years.
Oh, been using them a lot?
No. He is one of the rentees, I guess.
Renters.
He is one of the
rentees. I see what you're saying.
He is one of the family guys or
He's
the friends.
The rentoyers.
He's the one you'll see pop up in like 30 different people's Japanese people's Instagram photos and family photos and whatnot.
But let's be honest, nobody could tell the difference between
Where's my racist button at? Where is it at? I wish I had one.
Oh yeah.
And he says,
What he
this is from the man. This is from the mind of a man who has been doing this for years. He says, when I'm with my family, my real family, it's agonizing to be alone and just think, is this the real me? Right now, the inner monologues are tough. Imagine
dude.
constantly having to split yourself between being the real you and being this is like 4D acting. You know, when you act on set, it can take a toll on you. You can kind of really start getting in that role and kind of becoming that person. But when you have to do it in real life as your job for unwitting people, that's something entirely different because he has been doing this for years, essentially since this little girl was born as her dad. He has been pretending to be this little girl's dad. She is the only dad
since she was since she was born.
Essentially, since she could.
He's been her pretend dad.
Yep. Since he is the only father that she knows, and he is an actor hired by this company.
And this is like the deepest level of method acting.
Oh, it's insane. So it says,
yeah,
it's a business. I'm not going to be her father for 24 hours. It's a set time. When I'm acting with her, I don't really feel that I love her. But when the session is over and I have to go, I do feel a little sad. The kids cry sometimes. Keyword, kids. He has multiple families that he's pretending to be the father of.
He has multiple kids.
Multiple kids.
Jared Leto.
They say,
where's your kids?
They say, why do you have to leave? In those instances, I feel very sorry that I'm faking it, very guilty. There are times when I'm done with the work and I come back home where I sit and watch TV. I find myself wondering, is this now the real me or the actor?
Bro, this just got way too deep.
Family romance. So, you ever thought to yourself and looked at your speed
Don't
dial?
say fucking speed dial. God.
And realized,
Ah.
I don't have a dad on here. Family romance is there for you.
You can have
You
one.
can. This little girl, it's so sad.
I don't have a Japanese dad on there.
He was also mentioning too that when you the conversations he has with his clients, especially when it comes to kids or to keeping up the facade for other family members, like important people to them, the conversation he has with them is, are you prepared to have this go indefinitely?
Wow.
This man is prepared to be a father, a son, a boyfriend, a husband, a nephew, an uncle, you name it, to complete strangers for money,
Definitely
for the rest of their lives. This is some.
I feel like this especially hits hard for you because you've had quite a few events very recently. You've had the baby thing.
Mm-hmm.
You've had the other baby thing. You had you got married. You had the like the pre-marriage thing, whatever you call that.
Or just having friends just in general.
Yeah, birthdays, your wife birthdays.
Yeah, it's
Those are all family things, you know?
I couldn't imagine the kind of toll that it takes. So putting yourself in the mind of, and what is in my opinion, the lowest totem on the pole is the actor. Like having to split yourself between being a real human being and being a real human being simulation for other people who need a real human being in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of mental gymnastics that requires is almost, it's like schizophrenic levels to me. I can't imagine how somebody could be okay with that type of thing. Now, I understand, being hired to be somebody's friend for photos and whatnot. I get that. Okay. That's, it's lonely, but it's not terrible. But being somebody's father, the only father they have ever known for their entire lives, until you just decide to up and quit and shatter that person's reality who has come to know you as the beacon of their lives, basically. But that is a whole new type of evil to me.
Playing devil's advocate, though, is that on you though, or is that on the shitty mom who doesn't want to tell her daughter that, her dad isn't around because he's a piece of shit?
The top of the totem pole for me is the person hiring that person.
Okay.
I'm 100% with you. I don't think the blame ever solely lies with one person, especially
unless
in
it's like a wedding crasher situation, but obviously,
sure.
They weren't hired.
Yeah,
They're just having a good time,
Yeah, so
it's almost prostitution if you think about it.
It is prostitution. Prostitution doesn't have to be merely sexual, but well, okay, no, yeah, it is. I was gonna say, but this is consensual. Prostitution technically is consensual in a lot of cases. Also, I think the people hiring these actors are not only, in my opinion, is there a screw loose, but I also feel for them at the same time too, which I feel like I shouldn't, because it's such a shitty, despicable thing to do. But imagine, there's a little girl who doesn't have a father, but you've read the studies, you understand that kids need their fathers to be around. You want her to know what it's like to have a dad. To have a dad. And
Right.
the only way to actually make that happen, because maybe her real dad died, maybe her real dad just isn't around. The only way to actually make that happen for her is to hire one. So, it's like,
I hear you, man.
yeah, I can definitely see, and I wouldn't constitute it as the merit, but I could see how the thought process, I could see how her train of thought actually would work in that case.
For sure. And at surface level, it's this ridiculous thing that, as far as our culture goes, makes zero sense. And we can make fun of it all day. It's easy to throw tomatoes at it. But when you get really down to it, it's almost sad in every facet of the way,
Yeah.
It's these people who are social outcasts to the point that, the most important, well, I mean, who knows if it is the most important or not, but to them, these are important events of their life,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not at all storybooked,
Yeah.
It's
Especially,
not what they envisioned when they were children. It's not what they...
Yeah, they're definitely put in a situation they probably never saw themselves being in. And it's all, imagine the culture too,
That's a good point,
yeah.
because me and Natalie noticed while we were there that there's a lot of, I guess, services that are strange to us as Americans, but completely normal there. Whereas, so for instance, we were walking around this area, we got lost. We were looking for this museum. That's it ended up kind of being in the sort of the red light district, and we didn't know it though at the time. But we were walking around buildings that had, so if you imagine like McDonald's where they have the combos, it's like the food in 1, 2, 3, right? But it was people's faces, and some of them were all girls, right? And they're like, I guess what you would consider like hot girl, what they would consider hot girls, really. I mean, they had like a lot of plastic surgery to look. They almost were.
Oh my God.
It was almost like they were trying to look like anime characters. You know, a lot of them had like blue eyes or green eyes, which none of them have. You know, they had blonde hair. They had like giant eyes, stuff like that. But we were like, man, is this like a prostitution place where you can just be like, oh, I want to bone that girl? Like, give me the number 3.
Yeah.
Can I get the number 3 with a Diet Coke? And but so we ended up finding the museum, and we asked the curator. We're like, what are all these places that are around here? And luckily she spoke English, and she was like, it's a place where you go to drink and eat, and you pay for someone to spend time with you. And we're like, oh, like spend time, you know, like fuck. You know,
Like happy ending.
like you spend money, and for an hour, you know, you just have a better time, because who wants to drink alone? You know, so it's
Yeah.
like, and like to us that sounds ridiculous. It's like, hey, just have a personality. Hey, go meet somebody. You know, but it's just a different culture. You know, the fact that that's even a thing over there kind of tells you something. You know.
Yeah.
And I know that they are way more into their work than we are. They work ridiculous hours. It's not the norm. Like, we saw people partying in their work clothes, because by the time they got off of work, it's time to go to the bar, and they would just go to the bar with their work friends. So we just saw people in suits, like freaking playing darts and like kanpai, yeah. And so it's strange for us, but they're literally a culture that, you know, is kind of, I'm not gonna say it's built around. And I mean, what do I even know? I'm an idiot. Disclaimer: I'm not a professional on Japanese culture, but
Disclaimer: we are not a professional Japans. Just in case you didn't know
disclaimer: we are not a professional anything.
that. Yeah. That's why it's called Idiotsyncratic, because we are idiots in these. These are our hot takes. Hot takes as idiots. Trying to teach you idiots something about it too. But yeah, with the Japanese culture, it's very centered around honor, is what it seems like. And
Yeah, but at the same time, there's a lot of industries, kind of like this one, seemingly, that are spawned off of the strictness of what is expected.
yeah,
So
I think it's the whole you know, you tell your teenager not to do something, and they're going to rebel and do it anyways. I think because of that repressive culture that is the Japanese culture, it's they have to have an outlet of some kind.
yeah,
and
that's
they
where like the panty fetishes come
yeah,
from,
and they
the
manifest in these
tentacle
like
porn.
such weird ways,
yeah.
because it's like they have no outlet. So when you have no outlet for something that
So
you've been
repressed.
feeling your entire life, but you've been told is wrong, you're going to go all the way to the other side of the cliff on that. And that's
Mhm.
why, yeah, like you said, the panty fetishes, the tentacle porn, the waifu pillows, you know, the sex robots, all that.
Mhm.
And I think one aspect of that too is, you know, the aspect of shame for not having the proper family dynamic, or or not having the proper friendship dynamic. You know, I think a lot of it has to do with shame. People don't want to take their selfies in front of the Eiffel Tower, but just be them, you know, or you know, people don't want to just post their stuff online to just show that it's just them. They don't want to seem like it's like they're alone, like they have no friends, like they have
Right.
nobody on their speed dial, and you know, they don't want their kids to grow up in what is considered a standard family household, you know. And yeah, that's where things like this, that's where these weird and extremely sad things like this come from, unfortunately. But yeah, so it's a weird, crazy part of humanity. It obviously was interesting enough to bring up in today's episode, because the moment I heard about it, I almost couldn't believe it. But then I saw it was Japanese, and I was like, okay, well, that sounds like that could possibly be true. And yeah, I looked it up. One of the YouTube channels I watch, favorite YouTube channel of all time, ETC Show. Check it out. They covered this also when the story broke, and they did an awesome cover of it. So complete with the interview of the man who has been doing it for years. So yeah, I think it's hard for us to wrap our minds around something like this, but it's
very foreign.
It's very foreign, but it's interesting nonetheless, which is the most important part. It is very, very interesting. It's cool to watch it from a distance. I could never imagine being a part of it in any way, ever.
I think I could.
Really?
Maybe for a goof, or maybe just
make a quick buck.
Just step outside.
Oh,
you mean like as an actor?
Yeah.
Oh, are you kidding me? I would be your friend in a heartbeat for.
I would be your dad your entire life
for 70 fucking billion yen or whatever the fuck it is, bro.
70 billion yen.
Hey, tell you what. I mean, I'm not the coolest kid, but you give me $5.
I'll do whatever you want.
You give me $5. I'll be your date to a wedding. But only dudes, because my wife won't let me date girls for fake.
Makes sense.
So dudes, hit me up. I'll be your date.
You heard him here first, folks. Dudes, hit him up.
Hey, and it'll be believable that I'm gay because I don't watch sports ball.
That's true.
But at the same time, though, I always get people's respect anyways. Even though I don't watch a sports ball.
Hey, gay's in now.
I feel like you do too. Have you ever noticed that? This is a complete tangent. I'm sorry, but have you ever noticed how, like, especially in Mexican culture, right? Like you meet like not Mexican, but like Mexican American, whatever the fuck, you know? They're like, oh,
whatever we are.
Yeah, you meet somebody new, maybe somebody from work, or like when you're first dating, you know, and it's like you meet your girlfriend's dad or whatever, you know? It's like, oh, what'd you think of the game? You know, and it's like, I don't watch football. You just get one of those, you know?
Yeah.
And then, but then, you know, they get to know you more, and then they find out that you can beat the shit out of literally everybody.
Yeah. Usually when I say that,
that was my experience.
People make fun of me, like your friends who were making fun of me.
But hey, they make fun of me too, man. It's okay.
But at the same time, it's like...
if you own it, though, I feel like it's way better than just being fake, because there's a lot of people who, like, don't fucking care. But
yeah, I just don't care enough to be anything other than that. Like, I don't care about sports. I don't care about watching sports. And if people think that's weird, it's like, shit. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't. Yeah. I just don't care. Maybe one day. Maybe one day when I'm older.
No, I get the camaraderie behind it. It's cool. But for me, it's a lot of time, you know, and I just have my time in a lot of other barrels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, me and you, we're both musicians. I'm an ex-musician. You're a current musician. I got to get real close to the mic because I'm a little salty. I'm just kidding. I'm not salty at all. I'm really proud of this dude.
My man.
But yeah, and you know, I do jiu-jitsu. That's a pretty important part of my life. I watch a lot of anime. You know, all my interests that are coming out on this podcast. These are the things that I'm into, and like I might sound like a wealth of useless knowledge, but to me, that's what sports is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no offense to you guys who are into sports, but to me, the tables are a little bit turned. You know, I might be the nerd with all the useless knowledge, but all of you guys have a lot of useless knowledge about sports, because who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, they're like, oh, are we going to the Super Bowl? I don't know, but next year
is it our year?
It doesn't matter, because next year it'll be all over again.
Hey man, I think it's our year, man.
Like, well, who cares? Because next year we might go to it again.
Yeah,
or not again.
I don't care about your year or my year or anybody's year. I just don't care at all. You couldn't pay me to care. Now, I know we said that we actually didn't have any voicemails for this episode,
but we have a special treat.
We have a special treat. They just left it for us. I guess they knew that we were recording today.
This is the first time in IDIOTSYNCRATIC history that we had a Google voice message left during the show
A
as
live-
we're recording it.
Live voicemail. So let's go ahead.
Semi-live.
Let's go ahead and play it. The transcription is pretty bad. This doesn't make any sense.
Don't read the transcription.
Yeah. So
Hey.
whoever this is from,
Google Voice, get better at transcribing.
get
please.
better at transcriptioning. So here we go.
Hello, this is Aaron Schneider, longtime listener, first-time caller. I want to know about Justin's most drunk adventure he's ever had. I want to hear the story, the first ever beer there, done that.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's actually that's my buddy right there. I didn't expect him to call in. Google Voice doesn't give us
Oh, you know him?
contact information. I do know him, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
he wants to know your most drunk adventure?
well,
Wait, what
I
do you-
don't remember most of them,
I might.
be honest.
I probably do.
but I think
But-
there's one that he's talking about where my wife and I we went over to his house, and this is when I first like really started drinking whiskey because he'd really gotten me into it. He had me try Maker's 46, which is really smooth. So we went over his place to just kind of hang out and whatnot. And before I know it, I've finished off half of his bottle of Maker's 46.
What is wrong with you?
While I'm drinking that, it's me, Eric's, him, and his wife. We're just hanging out, and his wife goes, "Let's play a drinking game. Let's play Waterfall." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, the alcohol's gone."
So he he starts bringing out the rest of the beer. So like I'm sipping on my whiskey. When it's my turn to drink, I'm chugging the beer or whatever. And then before we realize it, we run out of beer. So naturally,
They're like, "Let's drink the whiskey."
well, by this point I've already finished all the whiskey. So he drives me
Naturally.
He drives me to the corner store and we pick up like a 30 pack of like a
Well,
30 stone it might have been. Or
Why didn't you drive?
well, because I was hammered. And
Oh, well, all right.
I had one too many bee stings. So we pick up like a 24
That's a callback.
or a 30 pack of Miller. I don't remember what they came in because I was drunk that night.
Miller, I hardly know her.
And we went back to his place, and then we finished that thing off too. And yeah, I fell asleep on his couch. I don't remember falling asleep, but I remember waking up, and that is a terrifying feeling. That is a terrifying feeling. It is a disorienting, horrible, scary, an upside down realm feeling.
Hey,
But yeah,
stop it. I see all you out there with your judgmental eyes.
thank you,
You know you've been there.
Mr. Aaron Schneider, for getting me hammered on
Yeah.
half of your entire bottle of Makers, and
Aaron Schneider, I don't know you yet, but I should. So here's to you.
it was like 20 beers or something like that.
That's it?
So yeah, that was a pretty good
What
adventure.
are you, 12?
And his reference, Beer There Done That, was a YouTube channel that we were going to start years ago where it's a pretty good concept too. It's kind of almost like idiosyncratic, but we were going to just basically drink and get hammered on camera and just talk about whatever we wanted to and just kind of see like how slurred and how horrible we get like later on. But then I was like,
That's a
yeah,
good
but do I
idea.
want to do that every week? Probably not.
Yeah. Can your liver handle it?
I don't think so. My liver's been through enough. Thanks for calling in,
Pansy.
Mr. Schneider.
What are you, queer, son?
Yeah, kind of.
That needs to be louder.
We'll make it louder for you guys.
Yeah, sorry.
But there it is. That's how you do episode 3.
But hey, if you want to come on and... No, not if you want to come on. You're not allowed. But,
You can't come on.
If you want to email us, if you want to give us a voicemail, let us know what you think about it. Let us know about your sports ball. Let us know anything like that. What you think of our topics. If you got any topics you'd like for us to talk about. If you have any critiques. If you have stuff like that.
Yeah, let us know if we're wrong.
Let us know if we're right.
Call us out. Call us out if we're wrong. Quicksand Graves,
Yeah.
we miss you.
Where are you?
Were you Beto?
I literally called you out. And the fact that you didn't show up this week, it tells me something.
You scared, Quicksand Graves?
Yeah, you scared.
So
So, you
yeah,
know, if we rap battle, it's going to be...
you're going to be dead. So yeah, if you want to call us and leave us a voicemail, we're not going to answer. I don't want to talk to you. I don't ever want to talk to you. But if you want to call us and leave us a voicemail, the number is 682-422-9458. And then if you don't want us making fun of your voice, which it'll happen, it's gonna happen. There's
But
there's no
hey,
way around it.
While we won't talk to you, the point is that we will play you, and in some ways you will become immortal.
Oh,
Famous.
same difference.
Yeah. If you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you can ever imagine.
Yeah, and if it's funny, we'll play you. You can make fun of us all day. It's as long as it's funny, I don't care. We'll play it.
Yeah.
And if you don't want us to make fun of your voice, you can email us at idiotsyncraticpodcast@gmail.com.
.com.
And then give us your hot steamy takes on what we had to say. Call
Let's
us
hear
out.
it.
Make us wrong.
Tell me what's what.
Yeah.
Tell me what it is, who it is, what it is.
What it is, who it is, why it is, who it is.
And Arthur, one more for you. No,
There's a little laser clap for you.
I don't approve the laser claps.
Oh,